In today's video, I'm going to talk about what the best performing, highest return on investment final expense leads are and how you can get your hands on them. Coming up right after this. Hey, what's going on out there? It's Dave Duford here at Final Expense Agent Mentor at feagentmentor.com. Thanks so much for joining today. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about the most and highest return on investment leads available. When it comes to the final expense business, there's all sorts of ways to measure success. We've got closing ratios, we've got appointment set ratios, we've got average case size and premium per lead averages. But for me, the most important ratio you should be managing is how much money you make on the investment you put into your business. It's what really matters at the end of the day with any business, and final expense sales is absolutely no different. So what I'm going to talk about today is the biggest driving portion or course of what makes a very good return on investment decision, which is the kind of lead that you pick. So the best kind of leads with the highest return on investment, first of all, are any of those that you self-generate. Hopefully that's obvious. If you self-generate a lead, there's probably very little, if any, cost involved in actually procuring it. Therefore, the return on investment, in a sense, could be infinite. Now, what specifically can you do to self-generate leads? Because many of you guys out there just don't have a book to call on to generate referrals from. So what do you do, or what can you do to generate leads at a low cost and a high return on investment? My favorite method to use is seminar marketing. And that's walking into facilities where there are seniors and asking and requesting the opportunity to deliver a seminar. Many of these seminars can have a return of 15 to 1 to 20 to 1, if not higher, because the actual cost of doing them just involves you buying donuts and drinks. Nothing really much else to it. And even if you sell a couple, you still have a very high return on your time, especially on your investment in the leads or the seminar itself. That's my number one method of generating leads that both have a high ROI as well as the advantage of a low cost point. Now, if you don't want to do seminars, the next best method is to do avatar final expense leads. Avatar final expense leads are the most consistent, highest quality telemarketing lead I've ever worked. That's why I offer them to my agents as well as non-agents associated with the mentorship program alike. Generally speaking, a good agent can have an ROI of 8 to 10 return on investment. But the good thing about the leads is it's low cost. It just takes one policy for most agents to actually cover their investment. So anything above and beyond that is just pure profit. Again, most agents that do the system right and follow the deals are going to get 3 to 4 deals out of every 25 leads. And when that works out, if you look at the averages, approximately about, say, 8 to 10 return on investment. Again, a very good way to get a high return on investment on your leads without having to spend a lot. Now, the irony behind all of this is that the lowest return on investment for lead generation tends to be direct mail final expense leads. Now, if you know me well enough and you've seen my other videos, you know that my personal opinion is direct mail is king. You want to be on direct mail as quickly as possible. So you may be wondering, well, why would I want to be on direct mail if it's got the lowest return on investment? The biggest reason I recommend agents all get on direct mail as fast as possible is because A, the return on investment is manageable, B, it's very consistent, and C, it's what every other agent who is very successful in the final expense business does. So why reinvent the wheel? Go out there and just do what they do. Now, the biggest reason to use direct mail is a lot of the other lead programs out there have short lifespans. For example, avatar leads, as much as I like them, I know that in many cases agents are going to run out of people to call on because the telemarketing tends to burn out an area. And if they're not willing to travel to cities 2 to 3 hours away and switch it up occasionally, it's not going to be a long-term source of leads. Same kind of deal with the seminars. Very effective, but in order to do them right, you need about 100 places to call on, and you're probably in most areas going to have about a 4 to 5 hour radius of travel in order to get there. So final expense turns into an overnight business in case you don't want to be on the road all day long. And as while seminars are great, it's just that's somewhat of an impediment for people, especially with families and other obligations. It's still great to do and much more longer term in scope, but the travel tends to convince people to go back to the more standard route, which is direct mail. So at the end of the day, there's your top return on investment final expense leads. I would recommend you try them all out, see what you like, and ultimately what you'll probably find is that direct mail, if you haven't already, is king, and that's the direction you should go. My name is David Duford. Thank you so much for listening. I am the owner of Final Expense Agent Mentor. If you haven't already, go ahead and click the button above here or there, I never can remember where it's at, to join my free Final Expense, no BS Final Expense newsletter. And for doing so, I give you free training information in the form of sales calls, prospecting calls, and scripts. And that's just my way of saying thank you, along with the weekly newsletter with all sorts of tips and tricks on everything Final Expense. So thanks again so much for watching, and take care.